Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of 20s on Trending. As usual, I'm Dan. I'm joined by Olivia and Deeraiya, and we're going to be talking about all of the trending events that happened this past week. Just to preface, honestly, I don't think too much happened this week, right, guys? Like, it wasn't that bad in terms of like any big world events or anything like
That
that.
Yeah,
bad.
Well, compared to last week, I feel like a lot of
nothing
bad
too
stuff.
new.
Yeah, nothing too new to add on to the bad things from last week.
Yeah.
But I guess let's just get right into it. So one of the big things this week in terms of like current events in America was the COVID relief bill was passed. Was this in both chambers or just one, or did it only have to pass one? I don't really know.
Okay, so from what I've read, don't quote me on this, but basically, I think it passed in the House, including the minimum wage amendment, but then the Senate passed it 50 to 49. Like, okay, 50 to 49, but then they took out the minimum wage amendment. And so now it has to go back to the House to like re-vote on it without that. As far as I understand, Olivia, you can help me out here.
Yeah. I think you covered
When
basically
it
what
goes back
happened.
to the House, is that the thing where it's like you need 2/3 or something? Maybe? Am I completely making that number up?
Oh, that sounds like a number from AP Gov.
I feel like that's for impeachment. I don't think that's a thing.
There's there
You know,
is
I
a
could totally be
2/3
wrong.
and a 3/4. I don't know if it's for this though.
We are not the smartest all the time.
I
Maybe
don't
we should have done a little research.
I don't think that's for this because if in the Senate it passed 50 to 49, obviously
Yeah.
it's not that like crazy. I think you only need 50% plus one.
Okay. So anyway, though, the COVID relief bill passed. So basically, from my understanding, what this means is that another round of stimulus checks will be coming out, I believe. Is there anything else associated with it?
Like,
Like,
yeah.
like was there anything new with it, or was it just kind of like, oh, we're gonna give more stimulus checks?
Was there funding for the vaccine?
Yeah, there is. It's like the
Yeah.
CARES Act basically, but it's just like different. From
Oh,
what
okay.
I understand though, I don't know. I feel like they should have done the $15 minimum wage. Sorry to Bernie Sanders once again. I'm saying like he's the best, but yeah, I just feel like that's a thing that should be happening. And like even that 8 Democrats in the Senate voted against it too. I was just like, why are you doing this to me? Not to, I mean, not to me specifically, but to
Deeraiya
everybody.
specifically felt like she was being targeted.
Yeah.
So just a little background, I guess, because I guess I knew about this, but I'm not the government one. I kind of keep up with current events. Anyway, so with the $15 minimum wage amendment, that was just basically making a federal minimum wage of $15, correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Proposed by Senator Sanders.
Because right now it's at a state level, right? Like the states can individually choose their minimum wage, I believe.
There
Correct?
always
Yes.
is a
I
federal
think,
minimum wage.
Dan, you're mixing it up.
Yeah, I know.
It's still there's still a state minimum wage. There's always a federal minimum wage. This is just like changing the federal one, not the state's
Would the
one.
state one then overrule the federal one?
It can't be less than the federal.
Oh, so okay. So what's the current
It could
federal one
have
then?
more. Um, Let me look that up.
Nice. We're
I
doing
don't
some
know.
research.
Well, I know in Pennsylvania it's incredibly low.
Yeah, I've also heard that for Pennsylvania. I know in New Jersey it's what
So
around. Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, sorry. The federal minimum wage is 7.25, as is Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's
It
disgusting.
is disgusting, especially as a minimum wage worker in Pennsylvania currently. I hate it.
So like
How can
I'm obviously I support a higher minimum wage, but it just speaks to how low it is that it would be over a 100% increase just by
Yeah,
bringing it to kind of only $15.
yeah. I mean, truly, I never thought of a $15 minimum wage would pass. I think it was too abrupt. Not that I don't support it, but it just going from like Pennsylvania's minimum wage to 15 is a lot.
I'd also agree that I didn't think it would pass just because like
Yeah.
there are even like Democrats who are opposed to it.
but
And
Yeah.
right now, Sorry,
sorry,
go ahead.
you guys know that it's like incremental, right? It's not like bam, $15. Like I think it's like
Yeah,
goes like to
but
12, 13, 14, 15 like every year. So I don't really know the details, but
But
it wasn't
still,
like
I feel like it would be a thing where it's like, I feel like a lot of the time senators make things to please constituents. But in
Mhm.
this like case, I can see like some senators even being like, no, I just like morally don't agree with this, you know?
morally.
Not morally, but it's like I feel like sometimes like
Fiscally.
they vote on things because they think their constituents will like it. They don't necessarily agree with it, but I can definitely see in this case even some senators themselves being like, yeah, I just don't agree with this.
I think a lot of people were specifically being they were criticizing the Democratic senator from Arizona. What is her name? Oh my god, sorry, I got a text from yeah, the senator, like, is her name Senator Sinema or something from Arizona? But like she did that thumbs down thing that
Mhm.
John McCain did when he voted no to repealing Obamacare.
Oh.
And everyone was like, why are you doing this? Like, you're super whack. And like, apparently she used to like be aligned with the Green Party. So everyone's like, how are you not supporting this? And
That's
like, to
weird.
me, that also doesn't make sense. I don't really
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, a lot of disheartening things going on in government. Another disheartening thing that happened this week was that the state of Texas, among other states in America, I believe maybe
Yeah.
Mississippi, Louisiana, one of them, and
I
then
think Utah came out recently too.
so did West Virginia.
Of
Anyway,
course.
these states all decided that they're doing away with the mask mandate starting either at the end of this upcoming week, maybe by next week, something like that, that everything would be 100% open, full capacity, like COVID didn't even exist. And as a person who's obviously, I'm not like an adult with a professional like career yet in science, but as a hopefully a future scientist, seeing things like this is definitely disheartening because of how much work we've done over the past year and kind of how close we are to maybe getting back to normal, developing that herd immunity. And seeing things like this is just a slap in the face to all the healthcare workers, all the scientists who are really working to try to put an end to this.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't understand why now. I would think if anything they would pick when all the vaccines are out, because I think President Biden said by May every adult should have the option of having one. While I don't agree that you should take away masks then, like I would think that they would think, let's wait till then.
Why would they think that? They
You're
don't
right.
have any,
If they're
they
not
don't
for
know
science,
what rationality is.
yeah. You know what? I take back what I said. If they're not for science for masks, they're not for science for vaccines, right? So.
Yeah. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there were some bad things that happened this week.
I'm just like, I hope that private businesses can be like, you must wear a mask. And like, I hope
Mhm.
that they try to still implement it, even if the government doesn't necessarily.
I
do
feel
that.
like the private businesses should be able to do things like that.
The problem though,
I think that they are able to, but I don't know to what
yeah.
extent they will.
The problem though is even if the company itself has a mandate, it's hard to like imagine these workers on their own enforcing it. Like when I've gone around town, there's people who don't wear masks inside. You can't imagine like a 20-year-old kid just like telling some scary guy who doesn't want to wear one that they have to. It's
Yeah.
a really complicated situation.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. Hopefully we're getting towards the end of this though. It
Yes.
seems like hopefully, like Olivia said, by the end of by the end of May, it seems like President Biden had enough vaccines to hopefully give to all Americans. And yeah, hopefully this is over soon.
Yeah, unless that there's like another variant that's like crazy and isn't like the vaccine doesn't protect people against that, and then we have to do this all over again. And like,
My hope with that though is that, and from what I've seen so far, it seems like even if variants emerge, they don't have to start a new vaccine from scratch because they still kind of have enough of at least a blueprint of what to do. Whereas when they were making the COVID vaccine, they were kind of designing that from scratch. Because I'm pretty sure, I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was one of the first widely used mRNA vaccines kind of distributed to the world.
I think that's a fact.
Okay,
Yeah.
Deeraiya agrees. So two people agreement, it's a fact.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that even if variants do emerge, like hopefully at least the vaccine process wouldn't take too long. And if anything, it would be more just like how we get a flu shot every year. Like we get like a COVID booster shot for whatever kind of it's
That's what I've
mutated
heard
into.
too.
And honestly, I'm okay with that. Like a lot of people get the flu shot and don't complain. If I have to get a COVID shot, whatever, that's fine. It's just a shot.
Yeah, I'm getting my second dose next week, so hopefully, one step closer to herd immunity.
Yay.
Yay for Deeraiya for doing her part. I guess moving on to more of a science topic, but still kind of related to COVID. This past week, the World Health Organization strongly made a stance that they were strongly against hydroxychloroquine to be a drug used for COVID-19 prevention. So, for those of you who don't know, hydroxychloroquine is a drug. Towards the beginning of COVID, like March 2020ish or so, a lot of people came out saying, like scientists too, were saying like, oh, this is a great drug. It does a lot of things to help prevent COVID. And it does this by raising the pH of our endosomes, which are basically in our cells. We have a group of organelles called endosomes. And this kind of just helps to regulate the exchange of proteins, lipids, things like that inside the cell. So basically, in terms of COVID, in order for the virus to spread in our own bodies, the virus needs to replicate in our cells, but then it needs to spread to other cells in our body. So we can just make more virus. But by raising the pH in the endosomes, those organelles within the cells, that prevents COVID from kind of replicating in our own cells because it makes it difficult for the viral particle to fuse with our cell membranes. So basically, I guess that was a little bit more sciencey than we're used to on this show. But basically, if hydroxychloroquine, its ideal function is to prevent viral replication in our own bodies. But a big thing with hydroxychloroquine that was also found was that there's a lot of side effects, like a lot of side effects. All drugs have side effects, but hydroxychloroquine really had a lot. Just to note, hydroxychloroquine was never like approved for COVID treatments. The FDA just gave it emergency use authorization, and emergency use authorization basically means like, oh, we're in the middle of something that's really big, really important, i.e., a global pandemic. So any drug that we think could work is better than nothing at all. But it was never approved because there are so many side effects like heart rhythm problems, anemia, low blood sugar, inner eye tissue damage that could cause vision problems, neurological problems, seizures. And it also interacted poorly with a lot of other drugs that a lot of people were on just like naturally that they needed, like antidepressants, antipsychotics, beta blockers, methadone, things like that. So obviously lots of side effects. So recently, not recently, but over the past year, since like March 2020, when it was given emergency use authorization, these negative side effects really started to come into play. People were really getting sick. People were having really severe side effects. And people who were hospitalized with COVID-19 received higher doses of this drug because they were like, oh, to prevent the spread, we need to give more of this drug so that person's safer. But because they were giving these higher doses, they also had more and more side effects, adverse health conditions that came about. So this has really caused a lot of people to maybe even be worse off than they would have been if they just had COVID because of all these bad side effects. So just this past week, the World Health Organization finally made a strong stance. They were like, nope, we're strongly against the use of hydroxychloroquine for the treatment of COVID-19.
I have a question.
I may or may not be able to answer it.
Is the United States back in the WHO?
I will look that up. I would think that we are.
Because the previous administration thought it would be a good idea to take us out of that amid a pandemic. Why would that be a good idea on any level?
I don't know. We left a lot of things in the last administration.
Yeah, but this is just like
Yeah.
crazy. What is there to gain?
I don't really know. That's not my.
Autonomy.
Yeah, January 22nd, 2021, Biden rejoins the World Health Organization.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. I'd be surprised if he didn't, especially during a global pandemic. Like,
Good that he did it right away.
Because I'm pretty sure he also rejoined the Paris Climate
Yeah.
Accords like pretty soon after as well.
Yeah, I knew about that, but this is just like, okay, anyways. Golden Globes update.
Yep.
Hey guys. So it was really funny watching the Golden Globes because, yeah, I did terrible, and surprisingly, I think, well, both of you did really well. Dan did, I think he got like everything correct, which is really funny. But for those of you who did not see the Golden Globes, there are some funny moments. Tracy Morgan misspoke. He couldn't pronounce soul correctly. And I thought Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did a good job. I'm also fans of them. So,
I love them too. They're both very funny.
cool.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Golden Globes because I watched 90 Day Fiance and it was the same time. What did Tracy Morgan say? How do you mispronounce soul?
Okay, I think he said, from what I remember, it was like Sal.
Sal?
Something really weird. But he got it, like immediately he realized he said something wrong.
Well,
yeah.
Congrats to John Baptiste. I
Yeah.
wanted him to win, even though I said Tenet, but who cares?
You thought that initially, so I give you credit for it.
Yeah. Congrats to all the
but
Golden Globe winners, though.
yes, the
Yeah.
specific winners from the categories we looked at for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy was Borat, subsequent movie film. Best
I'm so
performance.
glad Hamilton didn't win, by the way.
I feel like I didn't get them all right because I feel like I said Hamilton.
We all said Hamilton.
Okay.
Oh, then I'm sorry, I misspoke too.
She's just like Tracy Morgan.
Wow. So best performance by an actress in a supporting role in any motion picture. That was Jodie Foster.
Yes.
Best original score, as we said, motion picture is John Baptiste, Soul,
Sal.
Sal, as well as Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. And then for best television series drama, The Crown,
Nice.
which I watched season 1, but I haven't seen since. Maybe I should go back into it.
I've never watched it, but I know people love it.
It's so well made. I remember that, like the costumes and the way they film it. But good for everyone who won. Congrats also for being nominated. That's cool.
Yeah. Good job, celebrities.
Yeah.
Unless you are Music by Sia.
Well, that's okay. They're fine. They can just stay in their corner and no one can pay attention to them anymore.
And don't worry, they made jokes about that too.
What, really?
Yeah. In the monologue.
Yikes.
I'll have to watch it. I didn't watch the Golden Globes either because I didn't.
I personally thought it was actually very funny. But
I'll have to watch it, at least the monologue, because I definitely like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. They're good.
Yeah. And I like when they have two people anyway, just so they can go back and forth.
It's more entertaining that way instead of just one person monologuing for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait, when are the Grammys? We should have done this for Trevor Noah too.
I think the Grammys are like a while from now.
Yeah, isn't it like near February? Or am I wrong?
They're next Sunday.
Sorry.
Oh, they are? Like the Grammys are like...
It's literally next week.
Do you want to run that?
March 14th at 8 p.m. We should do it next week.
So do you want us to guess this week then?
No. We'll do it next time.
Oh, true, because we'll record this. You're right.
Are you going to cut all this out? This was a waste of time.
Maybe
probably not. I feel like it's entertaining. You guys get to know us a little bit.
Viewers.
Yeah, and I think we had one more thing to talk about that I know virtually nothing about.
Zoella, aka Zoe Sugg, and Alfie Days are having their first child.
Yay!
Congrats to them. Super bizarre because I feel like they're like 22 and they're not. Also, Jim Chapman, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's also a YouTuber who was like friends with them. He's having a kid too. And it's just like really weird that everyone is having kids at the same time.
Well, how old are they?
I don't know, like
30, 35, that makes sense.
They're not 35, are they? That would be crazy.
They were like 10 years ago at this point, right?
Jim Chapman is 33. Wow, I'm shook. How old is Zoe? Zoe is 30. And Alfie's probably like 28 then. How old is he? He's 27.
Well,
Wow,
congrats to
that's
them.
Yeah, good for you guys. Congrats. Hope everything goes well and that she has a smooth and easy pregnancy.
yeah.
Also-
She's definitely listening to your good wishes.
One thing I forgot about the Golden Globes, which I think you guys will appreciate. This wasn't one of the categories we looked at, but Andra Day, who we saw in concert, she won
Oh.
for actress.
Yeah, I saw the ads on Hulu. Is it like
I know nothing about the show she's in.
Holiday? Is it the
Yeah.
Billie Holiday thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did her costumes and like makeup really well, I think. I didn't actually watch it, but she's awesome.
Yeah. I remember being like blown away when I heard her sing. And I was like, why don't I know who she is?
Yeah, we all saw her live at Global Citizen. What was it, like 2017?
Thinking, yeah.
What was the song that she sang when she was like on the ground? Oh, she sang I Want It All.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she was wearing like handcuff bracelets.
She was wearing red.
Yes. Huh, good times. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Look
Yeah.
up her performance from 2017 Global Citizen if you're listening.
You might see us in the
Yeah, you might see us in the
crowd.
big field. You don't know what we look like, or you probably know. You know what I look like, but yeah. So, do you guys have anything else trending that happened this week?
No.
Quick shout out, WandaVision ended.
Oh
we
yeah.
made a podcast episode all about that just because we had so much to say. Check that out.
Yeah, check that out. It's on our channel. It got posted yesterday, so Saturday, March 6th. And it was fun. I like
Yeah, it was
talking about it. Maybe we'll do it again for Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming up. But yeah, definitely go check that out. And it's doing surprisingly well for this channel. So yeah, good for us. But yeah, if no one has anything else to say, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of 20s on Trending. As always, if you guys have anything that you'd like to say, anything that we said wrong, please correct us in the comments. Like I said, we're stupid sometimes, so definitely let us know if we said anything wrong or if anything else happened that we're just completely missing. Other than that, though, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week with another episode of 20s on Trending. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching this episode of 20s on Trending. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our new releases. New episodes of 20s on Trending will be available every Sunday. Also be sure to check out other content from I Feel Like Learning, as well as all the other I Feel Like productions. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep staying informed, and keep on learning.